Welcome to another Creaky Gamers Battle Report. Let's hope they know what they're doing.
Okay, welcome to round 2 of the local tourney at Hall of Heroes, and we're playing against Empire. So the steam tank's painted, but the rest of it's sort of grey plastic. So anyway, I no idea what his general had. He's got a general on the Griffin out there, and some demigriff knights, a couple of blocks of infantry and a steam tank in the middle, and there's some knights out there. We'll have a closer look at the army in a minute. And then my deployment, this is somewhere around about turn 1 before we come to grips. And he's got one of each war machine. He's got a mortar, a cannon, and a hellblaster with an engineer up there as well, and he's got a level 4 wizard. So I think he's got a unit of 4 knights. Can they have units of 4 with a character? Well, maybe that's the champion. And then he's got halberdiers and spearmen. The halberdiers are the detachment. Steam tank marching up the middle. And I think they might be swordsmen with another detachment of halberdiers. And a level 4 wizard behind them. And then the general way out on the left flank. So there's my secret weapon snotlings waiting for him there. Doom Diver, the Great Keef behind the archers. Level 2, level 4, Night Gobbos, and then Butt Cracker out on the left flank. And I've got my little mini unit of Black Orcs in March column there. They're wishing they were drilled. I don't know why I'm bothering with that, but if he kills one, then they're not in March column, so they could charge. Anyway, turn 1, he's just shuffled up as well, and I'm sort of hiding behind the woods. His general's going to sweep down that flank. I've been trying to drop a Doom Diver on him and so on. And I think he takes out one of the Doom Divers with a cannon and kills a couple of archers. And I've put Plague of Rust on the steam tank, and my level 4 is hiding behind the building now. So it's going to be up to the archers to try and get rid of the steam tank. And the snotlings, they're impetuous, but they're not in this case because they've got their little bodyguard of 4 Black Orcs. He must have killed one. Yeah, he did, with something. And then he's just hanging back on that right flank because I've got Butt Cracker and the Black Orcs and the Night Goblins on my left flank. So I've got to try and stop the steam tank getting to me. So the Arrow Boys with their poison shots with some debuffing of, I think I got Plague of Rust off once, but I didn't get many spells off early on. And he's killed a Doom Diver with a cannon already. And this is where I think I've made a mistake. I flew the Great Keef over the top. He's unwounded at the moment, but I thought I've got to get rid of this cannon or something to stop the war machine shooting at me. But then I've thrown the snotlings in there, and if the snotlings... the snotlings are just going to try and hold the general up. But what's going to happen is the snotlings will have to give ground after they lose a couple of bases. So then his general on the Griffin can turn around and charge the Great Keef in the rear. So I made a big mistake there, and when it came to it, he was umming and ahhing about whether to turn around and charge the Great Keef in the rear, but he wasn't confident in his Griffin to do the job. So he wanted to shoot the cannon, the Hellblaster, etc. at the Great Keef. But that was a mistake I made because the snotlings, I thought they'll hold him in place there, but they don't hold him in place. They have to give ground a couple of inches and then they give him a free reform. So that was a mistake which it didn't cost me anything in this game, but I have to think about that, putting the snotlings in. All right, well, after they're getting peppered with the cannon and losing a Doom Diver and I'm struggling to kill the steam tank, the Great Keef has thrown down the gauntlet here, and I mean they're going to go after the cannon or his engineer into the Hellblaster, but I have to survive all that shooting, and he's got his level 4 there, and he puts Plague of Rust on me as well. And Butt Cracker has thrown down the gauntlet to the Knights, because the Knights aren't coming forward, so I just flew straight up in front of them, and hopefully I can challenge and survive the challenge and maybe beat up those Knights. So after getting shot by the cannon too many times, I decided to go for it. And as predicted, right, the snotlings have given ground a couple of inches. And so his general was given the choice here, follow up or hold his ground if he passed the test. And he declined to turn around and go after the Great Keith. He wants to still keep going forward down that flank. And then the Great Keith is going to cop Plague of Rust on him. And the cannon and the Hellblaster and the mortar drops a bomb on him as well. Maybe a magic missile or something. But he's going to survive, right? So he's gone from full health. I think he ends up, spoiler alert here, he ends up surviving all that and another round later on with 1 wound left. So he is pretty resilient. He doesn't hit that hard, but he is resilient. And then the Snotlings went back out in there. So I went in there and I killed the engineer and then overran into the Hellblaster. I got you notice the steam tank's gone because the Araboys eventually finished off the steam tank. So that was a bonus. And then I sent the Fanatics up there to finish off the Knights. So a long bomb, 2 Fanatics went through the Knights and finished them off. So Buttcracker finishes off the Knights with the help of the Fanatics. And so we're just mopping up on the left flank now. All right, so so the left flank is looking pretty good. The Night Goblins and Buttcracker and the Fanatics, and got rid of the Knights, and we're just going to try and finish off those infantry. I think they're halberdiers, etc. there. Travel Mystical Pathway, the archers over here to get them out of trouble after they finished off the steam tank. So he's got, and then Buttcracker comes on. This is a funny one here. We shot at those the Empire infantry, and they fell back in good order through Buttcracker. Buttcracker was about to charge them in the arse, and now they're behind him because they fell back through him. So that's a funny one, falling back in good order into a better position behind him. The Snotlings are just skirmishing around there. His Griffin Knights, they've finished off the Doom Diver, and his general sweeping around this flank with his level 4 wizard hiding with his infantry cover there. And the Great Keith's up there murdering war machines. Alright, so we're getting towards, I think we're into turn 5 now, so we're nearly at the end. The Great Keith's cleaning up war machines. He's going to survive the game with 1 wound left. And the Snotlings, he's just ignoring the Snotlings now, so they're just going to mill about. There's 175 points of Snotlings still alive there, so that's a bit of a bonus for me. And then he's coming after the archers. So my archers have reformed into this position so I could shoot at his general. And then I've made a little bit of a mistake here. I've left Teddy Slickguts, the level 4, my little level 4 Goblin Shaman, is out here on his own in a very vulnerable position, which we'll see in a minute. So the Snotlings are just milling about behind the woods there, hoping nobody notices them. So they'll survive the game, which is probably the difference between victory and defeat in the end, just about, because he's going to zap my level 4. So he zaps little Teddy Slickguts, who should have been over there next to a unit, or actually in a unit, because he's on a horse, on a wolf. I usually put him with the Araboys, but he's got the general on the Griffin bearing down on the Araboys, and I'm trying to shoot them with everything I've got with the archers, the Araboys. There's the Great Keith. He's going to he's taken 6 wounds at the moment there, so he's got 1 wound left. He's cleaned up the engineer and the Hellblaster, and now he's getting stuck into the cannon. So I survived a couple of lucky bomb shots on top of his head with the mortar as well. And then this is the mistake I made. So his level 4 wizard just ducks over here and casts Wind Blast on him there and kills him. So I lose my level 4. So that's a big few points lost. And now in the last couple of turns I've lost my magic defense. So he's gone. There he is. He's gone there. So he died. So no magic defense except my level 2. But he's going to hightail it out of the archers. The archers have reformed to take the charge from the general on the Griffin. Surely the archers can hold. Like, there's 40 of them. I've probably lost about 10 now. So there's probably about 30 Araboys. So 30 Orcs versus the general on the Griffin. There we go. So that's the final scene, the last stand of the Araboys. And on the very last turn, This is the hazard of not having a battle standard bearer. The Arrow boys break and ran. They ran. So that was it. I lost the Arrow boys on the last turn. So I lost my level 4 little shaman. Lost the Arrow boys on the last turn. So it didn't go well. It ended up being a narrow victory to the Orcs, even though we lost the level 4 and the Arrow boys on the final turns. And the difference probably was the Great Keith surviving on 1 wound from all the cannon and the Hellblaster, etc. Okay, so that's it for this battle. It was a narrow victory despite all my mistakes and so on, and losing my level 4 and the Arrow boys on the last turn there, last couple of turns. Wasn't good. The only difference was probably the Great Keith, who is the general, surviving all that on 1 wound. And thoughts on the army. I miss having a battle standard bearer for those re-rolls, but the 2 wyverns is a bit of fun. The Arrow boys are the only answer I have to the big steam tanks and iron demons, etc. So on to round 3. And round 3 we're facing Chaos Dwarves, so stay tuned for that one. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Well, that was different.
Yep, lousy, but different.